two meetings between the Fever and Lib pushing pace here for Indiana.
Her score.
11 from downtown, and that one.
Meat and potatoes has to be inside to set.
Around Mitchell, puts it up. Commissioner's Cup game for the New York Liberty team as Ionescu goes baseline.
Worked on all offseason.
And you could look inside to Benijah Laney. Had passing a great look from Laney.
I'm calling it the J list.
We'll workshop it.
We're workshopping it.
On 6 made field.
I'm going overseas. Here's like that makes them go lateral.
In WNBA, first 2 times these teams have met. Now point forward, she takes the top of the key. Inside on the paint and a travel.
Running their team. And don't forget this Indiana alone.
Nice, they're still looking for their first win.
Thanks.
Courtney Vanders, a long one.
And space.
Benijah Laney had the same journey as Clark. Record as we head back down to Tina.
I just always put things in perspective.
And from our video standpoint, for me, for the Indiana Fever.
It was also agreed.
But I think bigger than that, they got to work on. These two teams are in different places.
In 34 straight, gets it up to Kennedy Burke, and she lays it up to the game in the locker room. As to your point, excuse me, in the bubble. In the first 2 games against Indiana, she all 3 defensive 3-second violation.
And so Niara Sabally and establishing roles.
And Burke in France. From Thornton, she's feeling it from her lap.
For Kayla Thornton with the Liberty.
Here the last 2 games especially.
Boston to be a leader for. There's so much conversing out the tunnel with her. Who's picking her up off
the air?
That's a lot.
Erica Wheeler, the veteran, off for the Liberty. So let's see if they can have a better.
Caitlin Clark when Benijah Laney Hamilton.
That Kalia Copper got onto this.
Making all the shots, and she stays with it.
Just another 17-point lead here. Looking
ways to score, and she's seeing that have been in this league for a long time. College that just don't work here.
Struggling, that's how they got you. And losing, how to keep your little bit of perspective.
Benijah Laney Hamilton she said.
Conversation with Sabrina about plays you thought were open in college.
Jones into the paint. That was nice look from Sloot to Laney.
Trying to find the touch. Looks like she's got the.
Hamilton gives it back. And
there's chemistry now to go along. Who was shopping for furniture?
It is a lot. Together, so.
Excellent point.
It's that togetherness. And this season, the Liberty hit the ground running. The corner to Laney. Here's Nalissa Smith. Up.
I do think the moment was big and a great. They're going to crush it.
Yeah, we saw everything you need to know about the competitive game.
So
Kelsey, who are shooting just over 56.
Post to Sandy Brandello. She's got a more.
There's Ionescu from the wing bench as well.
Actually, you do the talking and set the culture for the team. And finally breaking through in that way. And the Fever were able to come out.
Ionescu's Burke working on Clark. Puts a
tone-setting stats. For Stewie in particular, too.
Definitely is. Mitchell trying to answer, and it rattles around. Here's Kennedy Burke in the corner.
Got to get it together here.
There it gets right back to Mitchell for another. Caitlin Clark and the 4th overall. Burns it up, does not put it in, but right. Liberty could hold for 1 here. Laney Hamilton off the win.
So it's like each quarter.
2nd and 3rd have been playing with is black and white, and not that will span from June 1st to 5th. And she connects on
the second half.
As Nalissa Liberty point differential in the first quarter, there's to be an issue as Benijah Laney Hamilton.
Where the Fever were able to score, we feel like, okay, we got this.
See it. She does in that first quarter with 3. Smith, nice bullet pass inside.
Her feet and conditioning under herself.
In the first half, and 3
sloppy start to the second half. For
that timeout as Jonquel Jones has in the turnover.
And now a stumble, but no.
From Sandy Brandello.
Changes strategically, or close the gap so you don't lose. Pressed with a response to
500K. Nice.
Wait. Of everyone else, go for it.
Nice look inside from Sloot to Ionescu. Vand in the first quarter, we're workshopping Sleed back up to 20. Has gotten after it. Things down, it's Laney. Good ball movement here by Indiana. Nice look inside. 2-woman and 14-2 run.
I understood the term. Foam NATO. Out not only with tough teams and tough tracking the next game. I think at missed it.
Burke dials it up and knocks it 5 from the field. Burke with 10. Lou Samuelson over to Wheeler. A little out of control trying to now down to 2. Lainey Hamilton forced. 12 points off the bench.
The biggest keys to the season is the emergence.
Making your last 8 shots.
Who are MVPs of league stars, all waiting for them.
The European MVPs that are on. Clark got caught up at the top in
As a really great defense.
Digits with 9 points.
She's so excellent. She's found
point. I think she is able. Norton gets into the paint, puts it up.
Birthday Ellie early. Games for
Unlimited.
Yep.
In your relations to the A game, as Katie Lou said, very low maintenance in the morning.
5 head of PR.
All the time. Good. Jonquel Jones gets the.
And also staying on the court.
Kayla Thornton wing, and she called the.
And also Jonquel Jones helped close out.
To Jonquel about the way the teams play those little no looks sometimes, and she just next for us.
Tina
harder. You run with your head and hands up. That is what they want to do.
Violation on New York, so it'll be a team that's looking for quote unquote
completely team
against Phoenix. As Ionescu gets her own miss, puts it. Ionescu now with 50.
What impresses me is the way she's getting single and individual legs. Ooh.
Back on track.
There was that kind of viral moment. You know, how many times has Caitlin Clark's been knocked down? It's a player. Not to look at the team for the Fever, you know, someone like she being utilized this year. Same for.
You brought up this point in the first half, drafted this season, so you put that on.
I mean, I got to tell you, this is unfair. I might have shed a little.
It's only her 3rd year, and now she has her 2nd. Bigger minutes later in the season.
Great leaders are empathetic. She was immediately injured.
As Stewie can't get.
He had a target on her back, just like Caitlin Clark. Look what it's done. Look how it's.
Her first season in 2020 in the bubble. Her and Caitlin Clark.
Locker room, gifted them sneakers. They're playing against each other. But post and for Caitlin and would like to be.
And help each other. It helps the league in the WNBA. Fish and Ivana Doikin.
A team interested in the finals should be.
After 2 quick losses in 40-game season. And wad. And we've seen what Phoebish tries it again and was against this Indiana squad as put up 102 points.
It starts on the defensive end. Those are enforcer stats. That's tone setting stats. That is a form of leadership. For Stewie in particular to affect the game, it's a quiet leadership.
Definitely is. In the lane as she hits that one, and now Mitchell trying to answer, and it rattles around coming in this frame. Led by as many as 21. Here's Kennedy Burke in the corner.
It's been impressive, but it's on the defensive end. They've got to get it together here.
Ionescu tried to poach the passing lane there. It gets right back to Mitchell for another scorer in NCAA history here in Caitlin Clark, and the 4th overall.
Just to close out the quarter.
Burke. Clark gets in the passing lane, lays it up, does not put it in, but right.
Allowed them to cut into the lead a bit.
Liberty could hold for 1 here. Lainey Hamilton off the win.
This year, the Liberty are. So it's like each quarter over games, over quarters.
2nd and 3rd have been up. That's why the ball you see that them playing with is black and white and not the in-conference teams that will span from June 1st to Courtney Vandersloot. Now gets it out to Smith, and she connects on the second half.
Okay, I don't like the way they're starting this second half.
As Melissa, at the end of the first quarter, we saw the Liberty point differential in the first quarter. They're now in the 3rd remain to be an issue as Benijah Lainey Hamilton.
Those 2 miscues that the Fever were able to score this season. When things are getting a little icky, we feel like, okay, we got this.
3 to shoot here. Does Christy Wallace see it? She does. Anna Stewart, who was in some foul trouble in that first quarter with 3. Good hustle there by Smith. Nice bullet pass inside.
Injury, needed some time to get her feet and conditioning under herself.
Just 6 turnovers for the Liberty in the first half and 3-16.
Lethargic and sloppy start to the second half for taking advantage of that.
And coming out of that timeout as Jonquel Jones has a blitz on Caitlin Clark, leading to a turnover.
And now, I thought maybe you had a stumble, but no.
So out of the timeout from Sandy Brondello.
At shoot around today, she said, it changes strategically, you know, as many points as you can or close the gap so you don't lose. I'm more impressed with a response to
fifth, and the winning team receives $500K. Nice.
Wait, everybody who's on the court for the Liberty of everyone else, go for it.
Kind of the same play. Nice look inside from Sloot to Ionescu. Our producer Joel Kate with the assist. We're workshopping. We were saying that in the first quarter. We're workshopping. And they have ballooned this lead back up to 20. Delo's squad has gotten after it. Liberty slow things down. It's Laney. Gets around Jonquel Jones. Good ball movement here by Indiana. Nice look inside. Two-woman since 14-2 run.
Rehearse some of these.
It's like Sharknado, you know?
I understood the term. A sea foam NATO. And the way their schedule has just rolled out, not only with tough teams and tough days off between the next game. I think at Mystic.
Practicing's the biggest part of it as Burke dials it up and knocks it 2 for 2 from downtown, 4 or 5 from the field. Burke with 10, gives it up to Boston. Katie Lou Samuelson over to Wheeler. Had a steal, just a little out of control trying to stick in that same spot, but couldn't corral it. Now down to 2, Laney Hamilton, force 22. Not the case today for the Liberty. 12 points off the bench.
I think these are some of the biggest keys to the season is the immerse.
Making your last 8 shots.
Coach Brondello these are players who are MVPs of league stars. It's an entirely different system and role waiting for them.
Sense. We talked about the European MVPs that are on starters. 3 to shoot here. Clark got caught up at the top and
improved over the course of the year and ended as a really great defense.
The only starter not in double digits with 9 points.
But she's found, because she's so excellent, she's found.
That is such a great point. I think she is able here. Kayla Thornton gets into the paint, puts it up to 9th.
Wow, happy birthday, Ellie, early. Budget is. It's all brand names for
Unlimited.
Ellie. Oh, yes.
And Liberty PR.
Yep.
Media relations. He's bringing his suit game to the A game, as Katie Lou said. Very low maintenance in the morning.
Top of it, definitely a starting 5 head of PR.
All the time.
Sure.
It is. Steps back, takes the jumper, no good. Jonquel Jones gets the
importance of establishing the paint and also staying on the court. They do.
Kayla Thornton wing for Sandy Brondello always preaches, and she called the
for sure. And also Jonquel Jones helped close out.
Jonquel, we go to Tina.
And in just talking to Jonquel about the way the teams play that, especially Sabrina, the way she does those little no-looks sometimes, and she just, you know, we know that a good shot is also coming next for us.
Tina.
Ball could come your way. You run harder. You run with your head and hands up. Our mission is to win this championship. That is what they want to do.
That was a defensive 3-second violation on New York, so it'll be the selflessness. This is not a team that's looking for quote-unquote.
This is completely team.
The games this week, Wednesday against Phoenix. And they were able to hang on and win both of those as Ionescu gets her own miss, puts it. 35 made field goals. Ionescu now with 53rd of the Liberty points.
Well, what impresses me is the way she's getting put in on strengthening single and individual legs. Ooh.
Team to get this team back on track. Learning herself.
Right. You know, there was that kind of viral moment, you know, and then they gave each other a high five. You know, how many times has the tiff on the court or Caitlin Clark's been knocked down? It's, you know, this is still a second-year player. And then you look at the team for the Fever, you know, someone like in the Indiana Fever on how is she being utilized this year. Same for a goal percentage is terribly down.
And you brought up this point in the first half of who they are and who they drafted this season. So you put that on.
She's 22. I mean, I got to tell you, I've never heard her say, boy, this is hard, or this is unfair. 22, I might have complained. I might have shed a little.
And it's only her 3rd year on Friday night against Washington. And now she has her second. A nice message in her ear.
Yeah.
Work on your craft and build up to maybe bigger minutes later in the season.
You know, there's an empathy. I think great leaders are empathetic. Into the WNBA wasn't perfect. She was immediately injured.
Moment too we saw recently as Stewie can't get
years because she had a target on her back just like Caitlin Clark, all up and down the floor. So look what it's done. Look how it's.
And Tina made this point. Her first season in 2020 in the bubble on her back. So to your point, her and Caitlin Clark.
Sabrina actually came and visited Iowa's locker room, gifted them sneakers. During the season, it's a little hard because they're playing against each other. But post somebody whose path could be similar, and so she has that kind of empathy for Caitlin and would like to be
league. And if you work with each other and help each other, it helps the league. Looking for her first field goal in the WNBA. Kennedy Burke and Phoebish and Ivana Doikin.
This is what a team interested in the finals should be.
Go on social media after 2 quick losses, and you have to take a step back in a 40-game season and the linchpin of this New York Liberty squad. And we've seen a minute to play here in Brooklyn. Phoebish tries it again and season with 100 points. The other one was against this Indiana squad, as of course on May 16th, where the Liberty put up 102 points. 68.
It starts on the defensive end for